I'm Biresh Banerjee. Welcome to DW News Asia. Glad you could join us. A trial in Cambodia, dubbed a charade by rights groups, resumed in the capital Phnom Penh today after a 2-year hiatus due to the COVID pandemic. And joining me now is exiled Cambodian opposition leader Sam Rainsy. Mr. Rainsy co-founded the now banned Cambodia National Rescue Party, the CNRP, with Kem Sokha, who is facing trial in the country. Mr. Rainsy, welcome. Now, Human Rights Watch says that this trial is politically motivated and is about ensuring no one can challenge Prime Minister Hun Sen at the ballot box. Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree, because the trial of Mr. Kem Sokha is just a pretext, was the pretext to dissolve the only credible opposition party.
So this opposition party, the CNRP, that you co-founded with Kem Sokha, does not exist anymore. Effectively, Cambodia does not have an opposition, and Prime Minister Hun Sen has already been in power for about 36 years. Does that make Hun Sen a dictator?
Yes, because Cambodia has gone back to the communist regime where there was only one party. It is a one-party state. Actually, it is not only a one-party rule, but a one-man rule.
Now, since your party, the CNRP, was banned in 2017, as we said, Cambodia does not have an opposition party. Do you see that changing in the near term?
As long as Mr. Hun Sen is in power, there is little chance of any change, because now Mr. Hun Sen's party controls 100% of the seats at the parliament, and there is no real opposition party. We are fighting for the restoration of the only opposition party, which used to control nearly half of the parliament before its arbitrary dissolution.
So you have one-party rule. Hun Sen appears to be clinging on to power. What chance do you have, or does the opposition have, of restoring democracy to Cambodia?
It is the popular will, because the popular discontent is growing, especially among the youth, those who are under 36 years old. They have not seen any leader but Mr. Hun Sen. So the same man in power for 36 years, it's a bit too long. It is why the vast majority of the Cambodian people want to see new leaders, new face, and a more democratic regime.
But where will they express this discontent when the rule is so absolute? How do you see this situation changing?
We hope that the international community, including the European Union, including Germany, will push for free and fair election in Cambodia, because the international community, donor countries such as Germany, do have a leverage to push Mr. Hun Sen to organize a real election so that the people can express themselves in a free way.
Have you seen any signals so far that countries like Germany are using that influence to bring about change in Cambodia?
Yes, we have seen the German ambassador in Cambodia visiting Mr. Kem Sokha when he was in detention, and he's still not free. He cannot leave the country. So Germany and the European Union continue to pressure Mr. Hun Sen to open up his regime, and especially to respect human rights in a more convincing manner. This should lead to the organization of free and fair election, and then we definitely will have a democratic change in Cambodia.
I wanted to talk a bit about opposition unity. I mean, your colleague Kem Sokha, with whom you co-founded the Cambodia National Rescue Party, the CNRP, he's facing jail time in Cambodia while you are in exile in France. Has that led to differences between you two?
No, because we continue to share the same goal. The same goal is to bring about a change in the regime, a democratic change. This is the common goal. And we continue to abide by the same strategy. The common strategy is to push for free and fair election so that we can have democratic change in a peaceful, in a non-violent manner. But now we have to consider tactics practical approach. How can we push to have free and fair election? This is just a minor difference that we may have, but within the opposition, we continue to share the same goal and the same strategy.
You tried to return to Cambodia in 2019, but couldn't. You were stopped in Thailand. Do you have plans to go back?
Yes, when there is any opportunity that the opposition leaders who are now in exile can go back, they will do so.
Sam Rainsy, we'll leave it there for the time being, but thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you.